Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Revelation, and today in those 5 minutes I want to encourage you with this verse from Matthew 6:34. And it says, "So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." How is this verse encouraging? Because when I used to read this, I thought, well, this pretty much just means that tomorrow is going to be a troubled day. Today I'm having troubles. Tomorrow I'm going to have troubles. The day after I'm going to have troubles, and I'm never going to get out of this. So I asked God, well, how is this a good verse? Because I know that every verse He gave me is a good verse. Everything He tells me is good. It's there to bless me. It's there to encourage me, to help me move forward, and to help me live in heaven on earth. Because that's His plan for my life, and that's His plan for your life. But then this is what God told me. This is what this verse means. He's saying, walk by faith, and when the daily challenges come, because they will come for sure, you'll simply overcome them. There's no point in worrying about them. Walk by faith and overcome. See, because you always, like we said last week already, you always have the choice to either believe God, to walk by faith, and overcome, because that's what you do when you walk by faith. You overcome every time. Or you can worry about things which causes you to get stuck in them, which stops you from moving forward, and which pretty much just messes your life up completely. When you're worried about things, then you're this person that is simply always stuck in that, always worried about what's happening tomorrow, worried about what happened to you today, never gets out of the routine of worrying. Because every day will bring its challenge. That's a thing that you can bet on. There will be a challenge coming your way. But if you're always worried about those challenges, you will never get out of being worried. You will never enter into living by faith. And then you will also never get to the point where you simply overcome those challenges that are coming your way. And this is why God is telling you here, don't worry about tomorrow. Yes, there will be challenges that come your way tomorrow. And just like there's challenges that will come your way today, or maybe already have come your way today. But if you choose to believe God instead, if you walk by faith instead of worrying, and you can go back to last week's podcast where we talked about that, exactly the same thing. If you do that, if you choose to walk by faith, then you will overcome, and those challenges that will come towards you every day, they won't be able to move you. Then in Matthew 7:24 it says, "Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock." And then it continues talking about this other guy who built his house on the sand. And then when the storms come, because the storms will always come, when they come and hit his house, it didn't have that firm foundation because it wasn't built on God's word, and therefore it fell. And it says the fall of it was great. So here you got this one guy who's built his house on the rock. He heard God's word. He read this verse where it said, don't worry about it. He applied it to his life. He chose to walk by faith, and now he built his house on the rock. But this other guy read this and thought, well, how can I not worry about things? Isn't it just immature to not worry about things? I have to be worried about certain things. This guy is the guy who said, well, I have to be worried about what happened to me today, and I have to worry about tomorrow. I have to worry about my entire life. This guy never got out of worrying, never got over into living by faith, and therefore built his house on the sand. But now see, the storm hits both of these guys' houses. The storm comes, and the devil will attack. The devil will try to move you, will try to bring something bad towards you. And that's why before we said that today's trouble is enough for today, tomorrow brings its own trouble. So tomorrow the devil will try to attack you in some way. But now the question is, are you this guy who built his house on the rock? Or are you this guy who built his house on the sand and is worried about what's going to happen to him tomorrow? See, if you built your house on the rock and you realized, wait a minute, I know the devil is going to try to attack me tomorrow, but I stepped over into faith. I'm now living by faith. I'm now believing God. and therefore I'm overcoming those things that are coming towards me tomorrow. If you're this guy, then when the storm hits, because it will hit, you can be inside your house celebrating, shouting that you're not moved, that this is just a matter of time until the clouds pass by and the sun comes out again. You're simply not moved. Your joy is not taken from you. Your peace is not taken from you. Nothing in your life is destroyed. Nothing is taken from you. The devil has no place in your life because you chose to not worry about tomorrow, but you chose to believe God instead. Believe that God is stronger, that God is a lot more able than the devil, that He's a lot greater, and that if you walk with Him, your life gets better every day. You step into new blessings every day, and you simply come up in life. Nothing bad can happen to you when you walk with God. Because you've believed this, now your house is built on the rock, and when the devil attacks, when tomorrow's troubles come, they won't move you. They won't steal your joy. They won't steal your peace. You will just run over them and overcome them. They won't slow you down. They won't stop you in your tracks because you're living by faith and you chose to believe God's word. And that's what I want to encourage you with today. Get away from worrying about tomorrow. Don't worry about what's going to happen to you tomorrow. Walk by faith instead, and then when tomorrow's trouble comes, you will simply overcome it. You might not even realize that it has come because you're simply walking by faith and you just ran over it right away. Don't let that move you. Walk by faith in all you do, and don't worry about today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what's going to happen to you. If you walk by faith, God is taking care of you and He really knows how to keep you safe. So take this with you. Be blessed by that. Don't forget to read your chapter a day, and I'll see you again next week.